What's going on, my dudes? Chensleo11 here, and welcome back to another episode in the A to Z series. Today we are playing Janna Support. I think Janna's a very fundamental support to pick up if you're new to support, new to the game in general, new to the role. I think she's a hell of a lot of fun, and she is very satisfying once you start to master her and pick her up. She's dropped off a little bit in popularity recently. I remember when I first started playing League of Legends, she was in pretty much every other game, but I think she's one of the more staple shielding supports of the Enchantresses. I think she's very, very good and very worth picking up, especially if you're new to the game, because she's pretty easy to play. The only thing I will say, if as a general tip for Janna, is to just understand your positioning. That is the most important thing. Everything else is relatively simple. There are some very flashy combos you can pull off. I'll leave them for another video, not here for a beginner's guide. To learn once you have a lot of time spent with Janna, but I think she's very, very fun, good to play, good for a beginner as well. So if you're new here on the channel, first of all, hit the subscribe button. We are going through every single champion in League of Legends, giving you a basic overview of each of them. We are quite a way through right now. I think we're up to, what's this, episode 43 or something like that. So we're getting through. We're having a lot of fun doing it as well, and a lot of champions in the future to get through. So we are helping our Skarner with Alicia with our Ashe bot, and we are looking to get an early lead and be quite aggressive in lane, and I will point that out while it's happening. But first, I want to go through the runes. I'll flash them up on the screen. These runes change, obviously, builds change. Champions don't necessarily change that often, so this video is focusing more on the champion. But the runes we did on this video, on this game, are Summonary, Manaflow Band, Serenity, I can never say that one, Gathering Storm, Relentless Hunter, and Eyeball Collection. Now, you could go Taste of Blood instead of Eyeball Collection, or you can go the Comet instead of the Summonary. I just like the Airy for the shielding aspect, more defensive. The Comet is definitely more aggressive. I like to play Janna actually quite aggressive. You can see me before I go through the abilities. I'm getting right up in this vein and dealing a lot of damage early. You can see how chunked she is. So although Janna is a very backline-centric supporty champion, in the lane, especially against an Alistar who's basically does nothing level 1, and a Vayne who's going to scale and is very weak early, you need to get up and get aggressive. Try and deny them a safe lane. You need to be aggressive. You need to be proactive to make your laning and the game easier for yourselves. If you're not, you're going to struggle later on. So you can see we're getting up nice and close, and we are also stacking up our Spell Blade, which is the item you start with. And we are going to go quickly mention the items of this build that we did this game. So we're going to go Boots of Lucidity, so the CDR boots, and then Moonstone Renewer for the healing, the shielding amplification, obviously great support item to rush, the Staff of Flowing Water for the thing is like gives you bonus movement speed plus the healing, the shielding power, which is obviously very, very important for Janna. We get caught against an Alistar grouping, something you don't really want to do against an Alistar, just a tip against him specifically. He landed a nice headbutt pulverize combo, which you may find familiar from when I did the Alistar video all that time ago. So we're trying to be obviously a support for our AD carry. We're trying to relieve pressure off the Ashe. We're trying to be aggressive. We're trying to like peel for her as well as best we can, and just be a bit of a nuisance in lane. That's our job, and just try and get gold off auto attacking and whatnot. So they are the, also with the abilities, I'll quickly mention now, you want to max your W first. You can also max your shield first. I've seen some Janna players do that. I just like the aggressive nature of the W max first. You then want to, so whichever one you don't max first, I recommend W first. It'll help you get that aggressive mentality going. Shielding second, and then your Q last for the Tornado, which is more of a utility spell, which doesn't really need to be maxed early. We can max that later on. So that's all the abilities, the maxing. We're going to start, and we're going to go through all of Janna's abilities in order. That way you sitting at home can understand what she does and what she's good at. So basically, Janna's passive is called Tailwind. Very, very simple passive. Janna gains 8% movement speed and grants the same amount. Oh, nice flash engage from the Alistar. Let's see what happens here. This game was a while back. Let's see how we fare this one. I still have my flash over the wall available. So we did get caught out again. Again, 99%, before we go into the passive, 99% of Janna's positioning. Honestly, the rest is very simple. Her abilities are easy to pull off. You need to learn how to position. If you're too far back, you're not going to be doing anything. Too far forward, you get caught and jumped on and killed. especially later in the game and also in the lane. Very, very important. Also, warding is important when you play support, so just follow along. You can see me warding whenever I can at spots that are useful, and trying to deny vision later on in the game once I get my warding item complete, my Spellblade. So yes, so the Tailwind, it gives you bonus movement speed, and then allied champions moving towards you also get this movement speed. So you can see the Ashe, when she's running towards me, she gets bonus movement speed. And there's a little particle effect, there's like a bit of wind behind her, so you can see it now, to present that or to show that. I'm not sure if they see the Skarner, but we managed to hit the Cyclone on the Alistair, trying to shield the Skarner because he's the frontline damage dealer at the moment. And we get a flash out of the vein, and you can see the Olaf is also collapsing. So we're going to kind of have to peel for the team, give Skarner the shield, give Olaf the knock-up. I could have probably held the Tornado a little bit longer to increase the duration. I will go through that in a moment. But the Skarner manages to pick it up, the kill. I don't have a ward for that bush, unfortunately. So we probably could have got a kill there if I had my ward, but that's unfortunate. And again, here for this bush, it's kind of risky. I just send the bush, a Tornado through to check. But yeah, that's the passive. There's another part to her passive. As we get that nice gank from our jungler help out, you can see what I was doing there, just applying shields and knock-ups for our team peeling. That's what your job is as a support, to support the other champions, and hopefully they can do the carrying for you. But the other part of her passive is basically your basic attacks where you do on-hit bonus magic damage, and that also applies to your W, which is the ability that you see me spamming onto the enemy Vayne and the Alistair there early. So they apply on-hit, and this is based on your bonus movement speed, okay? So that's why, another reason why the Staff of the Flower, I think, Flowing Water rather, is actually really good on Janna because it synergizes. You get bonus movement speed, plus your boots, obviously. So you're going to be doing more on-hit damage. So that's the passive. That's the Tailwind. Very, very straightforward. Nothing too complicated. You can see we get the boots straight away for that on-hit damage. You know, a bit more movement speed, plus we get the CDR. 20 ability haste, as it's called these days. The second ability, or the first castable ability, or Janna's Q, is called Howling Gale. Basically, you've seen me use it a few times. Janna summons a whirlwind at her current location, and then it charges up and goes to the direction you cast it. So there's a bit of nuance to this ability. As it goes along, it knocks up enemy champions, obviously. You've seen me knock up. It obviously does magic damage. Now, what's interesting about it is the longer it holds, you see there, I let it charge up for a bit. The longer it sits there and gains speed, I guess, the further it goes, the faster it goes, and the more damage it does, and the longer the knock up. Okay, so there's certain situations where you kind of need to get good at holding it a little bit, or sometimes you need to quickly double cast it. And what I mean by double cast is if you cast the Q and then immediately push Q again, it'll go off at whatever that charge level is, if that makes sense. So if you push Q really quickly, it'll send off a really slow, low damage, quick knock up, as you saw there. But it's really good in situations where you're out of position like I am there, or you just want to get that knock up, say for like if you had a Yasuo or something on your team that needs the ultimate off. So we managed to stick on the Vayne, and we managed to, I think we hit the Alistair on the back end there. We did get caught out a little bit, so that was actually quite fortunate that our Skarner there, I think I'm going to say that I saw him and I wanted to get up aggressive and kind of bait it. But here's just a mistake of mispositioning. He has Ignite still. Our team is going to pick up the kill. Luckily, we survive, and it ended up being okay. Not going to lie and pretend like I baited that. I was just out of position, and it ended up working out in our favor. So thankfully, the Skarner has got his camp set up just outside of our lane, so we managed to push this tower in, get a lot of gold into our team. We're not particularly doing anything special in lane. I was very aggressive early, which helped our Ashe get a little bit of early farm. So there was that. That's something that I highly recommend doing if you're playing Janna, and especially if you're new to Janna. So anything else I want to mention about the Q? The longer you let it sit, the more it does, essentially. And that's something you need to get used to. Probably the hardest ability in her kit, other than her ultimate perhaps, is mastering the hold time of her Howling Gale or her Q. So that's the Q. Janna's second ability, or her W, is called Zephyr. Now this is your first max, as I said earlier. It's the ability that you see me spamming a lot. Basically, it has two parts. It has a passive and it has an active. So while the ability is not on cooldown, so when it's available to cast, like now, you can see there's like a little bird flying around Janna. So that means the passive is active. And when the passive is active, basically you're ghosted. Now, if you don't know what ghosted means, it means you can pass through units without getting unit collision. So basically, I want to see if I can get an example here. I can run through minions without being impeded. So you can see we're running through the minions and not being like wiggled around the minion to get around it, like some champions have, like Fizz, for example. So you're ghosted when your Zephyr is off cooldown or when it's available to cast, when the bird's flying around you, as you see. And basically, when you activate the ability or you cast it, you send the bird. Also, quickly, it also gives you a bit more bonus movement speed. So again, the whole movement speed, what's it called? Motif, I guess, with Janna that we're seeing. So you're getting a bit more bonus movement speed while you have the bird around you. But once you activate or cast the W, the bird goes and attacks the champion you cast it on. It goes towards them, dealing magic damage. The damage is actually quite significant if you're maxing it, especially early on. And it also slows them for 2 seconds. And the slow percentage, or the amount of the champion is slowed, is it scales with obviously how many points you have in the ability, but it also scales with your ability power. So you can see with my first back, I think it was my first or second back, I ended up getting up a dark seal. And again, when I play these support champions, as you would have seen, perhaps if you watched the last video on Ivern with these shielding supports, I like to get the dark seals early, because if you're playing the champion correctly, you're sitting at the back, you're not dying. Your job is to survive and apply assistance to your team. Your job isn't to die. You shouldn't ever be in a position to die. If you die on Janna or these shielding supports, you're in the wrong position. That's the sad truth about it. You can get unlucky in some cases, but if you die, you're in a bad position. And dancing on that line of being too far forward and not forward enough is what makes these supports fun and interesting to play. If you're too far back, you are literally useless. You're not doing anything for your team. If you sit behind your ADC all game and not do anything in the lane, you're just useless, right? If you play up and are offensive and you dance on that line, it's called like tethering with the enemy's abilities and understanding what they can do. That's when you become an absolute stellar Janna player. So it's something to practice. And obviously I'm not there yet. Far from it, in fact. I just play her whenever I think I feel like playing her, and the team comp calls for it. Synergizes obviously extremely well with the Yasuo, for example, because of the knock-up. But yes, that's basically the Zephyr. It's an ability that you need to use a lot of in the lane. And I would have said that. Be aggressive. You're better off being too aggressive. In my opinion, in general, with League of Legends, I always err on the side of be too aggressive and then dial it back and learn your limits. If you play defensive all game, you'll never kind of learn where or what you can get away with, if that makes sense. And obviously it changes the higher elo if you're playing ranked you go. But it is something that I always try and encourage new players to get up, get aggressive. Because if you've been in a situation where your enemy laner is extremely aggressive towards you, you instantly feel like, oh, this is too good, man. I can't deal with this. You basically apply that pressure onto the enemy champion, and you'll see good results. Something that I've started to introduce a lot in my games, just being very, very aggressive and trying to figure out what we can do, what we can get away with. And it tends to work out more often than not. Obviously, certain champions don't bode well for that. But yeah, basically that kill there was all on us. We got the nice shield on the Skarner, and we knocked up the enemy there, the Olaf, allowing my Skarner and Ashe to pick up the fight. That's all you're doing as Janna. There's no need for you to get up nice and close. You can do what you need to do from a further back. And again, that positioning is very important. But anyway, let's get on to Janna's kind of bread and butter ability, which is her Eye of the Storm, which is basically what you are. You're a shielding support. Your job is to apply peel and shield for your team. You can see I get the knock-up, immediately go in for the Zephyr, as an example of me being aggressive. But basically, Eye of the Storm. Janna blesses an allied champion or turret, or even yourself, with a shield, and that decays over 7.5 seconds. So you can see when I cast it on the Ashe or whoever's coming in, I want to see, like, obviously a shield is like the grey health portion of someone's health bar, if you're unaware of that. And basically the shield is extremely important. Obviously it absorbs damage. If you do time it right, you can negate a whole burst of an assassin. So in this case, the Talon would be the assassin. I can pretty much negate all of the burst he does with a nicely timed shield. And this is a little bit challenging versus a healing support. Whereas the shield, you need to time it. Whereas a healing support, if I just heal someone, that health is healed and it's fine, it's done. A shield, you need to shield at the right time, otherwise it does nothing. If I shield too early and it falls off before the damage comes through, it was a useless shield. If I shield too late and they just get exploded before the shield did anything, obviously it was too late, they died, it was useless shield. So again, something to practice, something to get used to. Shielding support's a little bit different to healing supports, but they can be more effective in the right situations if you time it extremely well. So yeah, basically you cast a shield. The person who gets shielded gets bonus attack damage. Again, this bonus attack damage scales with AP, but I think it's very low, the ratio. Janna tends to get a little bit of AP as you go along, especially if you're going to go Dark Seal Magi's if you can stack it up. And then it also... there's another part to it that you might not know if you're new to Janna, but if you apply a slow or an airborne effect, so basically any of your other abilities, it reduces the cooldown of this shield. So basically what you want to kind of do is use your shield first in the fight, if you can, and then start throwing out your other abilities, your Zephyr for the slow, your knock up for the knock up, obviously. This will reduce the cooldown of your shield, allowing you to apply a second shield on that target straight away. Shielding more damage for your team. So, again, what I mentioned, if you haven't seen the Ivan video, I went into detail with this. Basically, these shielding supports kind of like someone that's going to get in, get dirty with the enemy champion, someone that's going to get in there. And in this case, the Akali will do that, but most importantly, the Skarner is going to be our main, and also the Fiora, if she joins, she's usually a split pusher, but we'll see, is the main recipient of these shields. And why I say that is because they're going to be up and close taking the damage. So if I can shield the damage that they take, they can stay alive longer, they can be more of a nuisance. That way our backline or our Misfortune can get in and do the damage that they need to do. Again, the Akali will be jumping in from time to time. Remember, you can also shield turrets, which I didn't do there. I could have done there. I don't know if it would have saved the tower, to be honest. But you can see here, I'm trying to get on top of the Akali. I'm giving her shields. And I'm trying to chase down the Olaf, a little bit aggressive. Again, positioning, very important. It cost me my flash. I was trying to get on Zephyr Ignite and then try and get myself out of there. Another thing with support, obviously, your job isn't to do damage and that, but your job is very much important to control vision. And you can see me sweeping vision around the dragon a moment earlier. I managed to get the Alistair off me initially, but he managed to flash on top and then knock me up, which is a bit unfortunate. But the delay and his flash was actually worth it for my death because it allows our team to clean up and get a couple kills and probably the dragon. So it's actually a really good trade for my life. And that was all from me getting that nice knock away on the Alistair when he tried to get in. So he had to flash and whatever. I got caught again. Positioning wasn't the best, but it is what it is. So that's the Eye of the Storm. Basically, a very, very important ability, your shield. It's something that you need to practice. Now, I know I said the Q was probably the hardest difficulty the ability to use, but I reckon it's her ultimate, Monsoon. Now, this ability is extremely powerful, don't get me wrong, but you can screw it up pretty bad. It goes into the categories of abilities where you can actually mess it up. Now, these and other abilities in this category are like Bard's ultimate or Anivia Wall or maybe Jarvan's ultimate if you screw that up. Another video we got coming up soon. But basically, as we heal and shield our team here, trying to get these kills for our team, basically what happens is you knock all enemies away from you, and then you basically start to heal everyone around you in a big circle. So why you can screw this ability up is the knockback ability. So you knock players or enemy champions away from you. This can actually be a little bit disruptive for your own team if they're trying to hit a skill shot, or you can accidentally knock people into bad. You could accidentally knock the Alistair onto my AD carry, which is bad. But if you do it correctly, you can knock these divers, the Talon, the Alistair away from your team, simultaneously healing your front and back line at the same time. So it's something to practice and something that isn't straightforward. But again, very, very strong ability. The healing is actually very, very significant. It's 100 per tick at level 16, 50 per tick at the first level. And then again, it scales with AP. So very, very strong healing. It's the only healing in Janna's kit aside from the what's it called? The Moonstone Renewer. I think it has like a passive healing ability to it. So it's important. And there are, again, some flashy things you can do. You can see we're getting out of position here again. As soon as you get out of position, you're dead on Janna. She's a very squishy support, and I feel like I leave a couple examples of bad positioning in on purpose, I guess, to show you what not to do. You can see the Ashe there dealing a lot of damage onto the Alistar. Skarner getting caught. Again, that's my fault. We lost that fight. So it might not look like it. Maybe something else could have happened better there. But essentially, if you get caught and you're not there to provide peel and shielding for your team, you will lose the fight. It's simple as that. You need to be doing your job, essentially. So I'm not there. Ashe gets exploded by the enemy Talon. So a little bit unfortunate. Not the most perfect game on Janna. These games aren't designed or aren't meant to show you the best Janna gameplay. They're mostly just here as something to watch while we go through the champion and as a visual aid as we go through the champion. So that's all of Janna's abilities. There are some flashy things, as I mentioned, you can do with the ultimate. You can like flash behind enemies and then ultimate them back into your team if it's someone you want to do that to, or into your tower range aggro, I guess. All right, let's see what we can do here. So we're trying to get on top of the Skarner and give him as many shields as we can. And we're also trying to... See, that's what I mean there. You can knock people back towards your tower. So there you go. Worked perfectly. Nice example of someone you can do there. So what I'm trying to do now is trying to just keep my Skarner alive as much as possible. Stay out of the damage ring against the Talon. And you can see how differently the fight goes when I'm there providing healing and shielding. So we can see if we can get this kill on this... was it Alistar trying to escape here? I think I remember we do get him. Perfect. Landed all three abilities plus the auto attack. Absolutely murdered him. So we get a nice solo kill. That's a good rare amount of gold for a support. So we can go back and potentially grab a little bit more items to help us out. And you can see Skarner / me and Ashe being aggressive in lane has allowed us to get 3 of the dragons. So that's actually really, really important. And I'm just making sure to let my team know, although we don't quite have prio in the bot side of the map at the moment, we need to kind of set that up and get that last dragon. So if we can pick this Olaf, who's made a pretty critical error being deep, no vision into our jungle a minute before the dragon spawns is a little bit of a mistake. It doesn't necessarily guarantee us dragon, but it allows us to push up, potentially get this mid wave for free, and for me to get in there and set up vision without being threatened by the enemy jungler. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in here, sweep everything. I'm going to pick up this Spire, I think it's called, the Skarners, whatever the hell that thing is. That provides a bit of vision. I'm sweeping everything, making sure we got vision. We're going to scatter all the vision. Getting ready, because this dragon is actually really, really important. And if we don't get this dragon to the end of the world, but it's something that we're striving towards. So we're going to try and run away from the Talon, join our Akali. That way it's a 4v2. We get the nice double knockup. We get an ultimate there to heal up our team a bit there. We're a little bit too close. There's no reason for us to be that close in that fight, just watching my own, critiquing my own gameplay. We get a nice knockup on the Alistar. We're trying to stay within range to peel and do damage. And we can see we finished off the Alistar with our Zephyr. But we're trying to stay away because they'll just instantly burst the support if you give an assassin the opportunity, or the damage dealer, because you're a squishy target and you're an easier target. So let's see what we can do here. So the Yorick's coming in, the TP, a little bit of a what's it called, like a distraction TP, and it's actually going to work because our jungler doesn't have smite, unfortunately, so that sucks, and we're going to get absolutely dunked here by the Olaf. Unfortunately, our team picks up the kill, but it's a bit sad. If we had the smite, we would have got the dragon. It would have been well worth it. We pick up our staff of the flowing water, I believe it's called. These bloody new items. But that's not the end of the world. We lose 1 dragon. That's fine. Yeah, we're getting our items. The deeper you get into your build, it just allows you to do your job easier. Your shields do more. You get more movement speed. You get a bit more AP, etc. So you can do what you need to do more effective. And you get a bit more movement speed too. So you can see we're running very, very quick, obviously out of the fountain. So right now, as a support, I usually stare at the minimap a lot. I know I don't pan around with my camera as much as I should as a player in general, but if you're new to the game, you might play on locked camera. I play on free camera, but I hold the spacebar a lot. So you can see right now I'm holding spacebar, so the camera is kind of like locked to me. And I'm kind of like trying to just bait this Talon right now into my team. And we hit the ignite on him, but unfortunately he's going to have a lot of escape. Beautiful flash smite onto the Skarner. And then you can see what I did there was when you're playing a support champion like Janna, who doesn't really need items or gold, try your best not to take the kills. And sometimes you do it on accident and it's fine. Like, I have 3 kills at the moment. I don't know how many of those were I think one of those was okay because it was like a solo kill. But the best score on a support is like a 0, 0, and then like 20 or something. Heaps of assists, no kills, no deaths, right? That's what your goal. If you just take a kill every now and then, it's not the end of the world. But just bear in mind, 300 gold on your 80 carry or on your bruiser, or even most of the time tanks, is more valuable to your team. And, you know, League of Legends is a team game. You're trying to win every game. 300 gold onto you so you can move a bit quicker. Yes, is cool and like it feels better to play, but it's not the number 1 priority. Obviously, that is why supports don't take farm as well. All right, so we're gonna. So this is we're gonna set up that nice tornado. We're gonna peel the back line. Sorry, the Skarner. We're gonna shield him. The Olaf has got his ultimate going. So we're a little bit cut off from a team. So we're just trying to weave in and out and get damage in when we can, shielding in when we can. Team is at this point doing most of the damage and most of the work for me, making me look good. I'm just trying to get in there when I can help out. Don't underestimate the power of your knockups. They are actually super valuable in fights. You can see that Yorick wasn't able to escape, lock him down, and also we're getting a lot of gold for these assists as well. So that's how you get your gold as a support, the assists. Obviously your support item gives you passive gold as well. So we pick the jungler, we pick the top laner. Let's start this Baron. We got most of our team here. We can see that the bot lane, if you look at the minimap, is bottom. The Talon is getting farm top. This is basically a free Baron. As a support, you can kind of think of yourself as a shot caller because you're not really doing much else. You're kind of looking in the map. So if you see an opportunity to do Baron, etc., or Dragons, Ward, it's obviously your job. Or it's one of the jobs that I like to do when I play support is to try and shot call a little bit more. Normally something I do a lot of when I'm playing jungle as well is just to try and do shot calling. What I mean by shot calling is pinging your team towards things, like ping the Baron. Now's a good time to do Baron or the Dragon or whatnot. So here you can see we get knocked up by the Alistar. I'm just trying to... at this point, I'm playing very forward, very aggressive because I know it's just an Alistar. He's not going to kill me. The Vayne could do some damage, but my team's going to be back me up and follow me up. So I'm trying to just get in there, get the damage in, and you can see it worked out well. Another assist for our team, for me rather, another kill for our team. So what we should be doing, and what I mean by shot calling, is we should definitely be mid lane, and I did ping it there. I think I pinged on my way mid. Is we have Baron buff, and I know chasing kills obviously furthers our gold lead, but we need to get the game moving. We need to push objectives. We need to get these towers down. Mid tower, this first mid tower is actually worth more than the gold it gives. It actually opens up the map and allows you access into the more ways into the enemy jungle, and it also provides a lot of vision, which you might not know, but minions provide vision. So like if you push the mid wave all the way up to here, and let's say we back off and try and take on the Yorick, we're going to know where the enemies are because we can see them deeper in their base. So yeah, it obviously moves our vision up, which is good. If we get our vision up higher, it gives the Fiora a better chance to split push. You can see there I just pop my ultimate, heal everyone up. Now with the ultimate, with the healing's actually quite significant. You saw there, heals you as well. I don't know if I mentioned that. You can do one of two things. You can use it for the knock-up. I like to kind of use it preemptively, and like if I think there's going to be a fight. And I also kind of like to use it after a fight to heal people up if there's something to do after the fight. For example, if we win a team fight near Baron or Dragon and we're very low health and it's kind of risky to do the Baron, don't be scared. The cooldown's only a minute just to hit that ultimate, heal everyone up, so you can go ahead and grab that objective. So we are going to collapse on the Yorick. Probably could have been doing something a bit more useful rather than getting just another kill, like getting the Dragon. And there is unfortunately a situation where I threw a Zephyr a little bit too late. Didn't need to, and just took the kill. So something to bear in mind. So you can see what I mean by that. That mid wave is pushed up all the way to the mid. So we can see we get deep vision into the enemy's side of the map. So we know we've got time to do this to do this dragon. See, what I'm trying to do here is to knock up the Olaf at the right time, so he can't jump over and steal the dragon. But fortunately, what the Skarner did was he just ulted the Olaf as soon as he jumped over. Not sure if the Olaf had the ultimate, so that meant that he couldn't smite it, so then we could just grab the dragon. So that's that. We have the soul, and I think I mentioned this in the Ivan video, but once you have the dragon soul, the chance of winning the game goes up very, very drastically. I think it's up to 80% chance of winning if you have the dragon soul. So dragon soul, extremely important. If you're a jungler, look to get those dragons when you can. If you're playing support, obviously getting the lane advantage and getting pressure at the bottom allows you to like get towards the dragon, get the vision, and set up the dragon for your team. So it is on you as well as a bot laner. All right, so we end up getting the Ardents. I think I went for the Magi Soul Stealer instead of the Ardent Sensor. A little bit of a selfish, fun thing. You can see how much AP we actually have. We have like mid-game mage levels of AP for a support, which is actually quite fun. It just means that our Zephyr and our Q, or like our tail, what's it called? The Howling Gale is going to be actually absolutely slapping, doing a lot of damage. Plus, remember, all of our abilities are scaled with ability power. So although we're doing more damage, remember, we are also applying more shielding because it scales with AP. We're also doing more healing because it scales with AP. So don't just think it's for damage. It actually does a lot of supporty things as well. I don't think I mentioned at the start of the game with the summoner spells. I typically run Ignite on Janna, and that's probably what a lot of people do as well, and a lot of the high elo players do as well. It's because Janna is actually a really aggressive laner, despite her perception of just like a backline shielder. So getting in on the enemy and getting that early damage and potentially getting that Ignite down and getting an early kill for your bot laner can basically snowball the lane out of control, win you the game from there. And then that's through the dragons, as I mentioned earlier. So beautiful. Take the Ignite. So you can see what we're doing here is we're kind of a little bit too on the enemy champion. We don't need to be that close to him. Just something to point out. So you people, when you play the game, don't do it yourself. But yeah, got a bit panicky, shielded. I think I probably shielded myself. When I get scared, I just shield myself, which is bad, right? You don't want to be shielding yourself if you can help it, because you are not a good shielding target because you're not doing damage. All right, but you can see this game has gone very, very well. 3 deaths in a 30-minute game is actually pretty good. 1 every 10 minutes. Obviously, can be better, can be 0. It's just working. It's just figuring out the positioning when you play Janna. Something to get better at. So anyway, guys, I hope you're enjoying the video. Please leave a comment down below. What do you guys think I could have done better? What do you guys think? What do you enjoy about Janna herself? Do you like playing these kind of supports? Are you new to these kind of supports? Are you enjoying playing these kind of supports? I reply to pretty much every single comment in the comment section. So if you have a question or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll get back to you basically almost instantly. Depending, sometimes I'm sleeping, so I won't, but almost instantly. So what we're doing now is we are just running around like headless chickens, really, just grabbing objectives and kills. We could probably ended this game by now, but we're fed. We're having a good time. We get our Magi up to 14 stacks. Unfortunately, to get my knock up away in time, I could have cancelled that TP if I hit that knock up, but it is what it is. So right now we're just in the mid lane trying to push. I think the Olaf is sticking around despite him teleporting away. Not too far from us. He's staying around on that bot lane. Looks like the Akali and the Skarner are going to clean it up. I'm going to head towards the Fiora because I feel like she's going to be in a closer fight. And I end up accidentally running into the Talon, and I do ping the Fiora for help, and she does come. That's excellent. Make sure you're using your pings, guys. I don't type at all when I play League of Legends. I think typing is pointless and stupid. And that's just my opinion. Other people have different opinions, but there's too many toxic people that just talk shit in League of Legends for me to leave the chat on. So I just turn it off and I just communicate through pings. You can do more than enough of communicating through pings. If you find yourself getting, especially if you're new to the game and you're learning champions, you're getting flamed. And what I mean by flamed is people like saying, oh, you're shit, blah, blah, blah. Especially if you're on the Oceanic server like myself. Very, very common. Just mute the chat and communicate with pings. Unfortunately, we get out of position, caught out of position there. I did get a nice ultimate off, but I was just a little bit out of position when I used the ultimate. Bear in mind, when you do use the ultimate, I did mention this, you obviously can't move. So you need to kind of use it in a position that allows you to heal and then escape afterwards. So unfortunately, the Magi didn't work out because we lose all our stacks and we're down to 6, which sucks. But we do finish off our Ardent Sensor in the end. And now we are kind of delaying the game for no reason. Again, another death, not the best. Probably looking towards getting the Elder Drake. I'm pretty sure I pinged it. Basically, if you get the Elder Drake, it's lights out. Just the team fighting potential with the Elder Drake is absolutely insane. The Talon ended up dying to the Baron, so he was probably trying to steal the Baron, which is actually quite funny. I don't know if Talon builds any life still, so I don't think he can do that. Oh, he was doing it with his team, and he just died to the Baron. That sucks. Sucks for him. Excellent for us. It means that one less person on the enemy team with the Baron buff, and it means we're going to have we're going to have the numbers advantage at this upcoming Elder Drake team fight. Now, personally, and I know a lot of people will agree with me, I think the Elder Drake is better than the Baron. I just think the winning a team fight this late in the game basically wins the game. So Elder Drake's better. You can see what I did there is I'm just trying to peel off the damage away from the Elder Drake and secure it for our team. And then at this point, it's game over. There's no way, if we get a team fight to happen, there's no way the enemy team can win the team fight. It's just no way. Because if you don't know what the Elder Drake does, see that line on Alessa's health bar? As soon as his health goes below there, a big dragon comes out of nowhere and just sprays his breath all over the champion and destroys him. So, a bit like me when I wake up in the morning and blast someone. But that's it, guys. Basically, when you play support champions, don't forget to swap to the Oracle lens, obviously, because you're going to have your warding trinket on 1 with your support item. So you want to change that as soon as you can, or as soon as you get the warding item, definitely swap it over. And then just use it whenever you think there's wards around. Definitely sweep objectives, sweep bushes. I didn't buy enough control wards, I don't think, this game. Make sure you're buying control wards for those objectives as well. Vision control, especially for a newer player, if you're watching this and you're a newer player, vision control is disgustingly underrated at the beginner levels of League of Legends. Imagine playing a game of League of Legends where the map is revealed for just your team. Imagine how many games you'd win. You'd pretty much never lose, right? So vision is extremely important. So control vision. It makes enemy teams hesitantly check bushes, and they're scared, and they makes them two minds. Where are the enemies? They're scared. Makes them think they're on the back foot, right? So sweep vision when you can, like I did there. The Akali used my ward as a teleporting beacon, which is excellent for us. She can come in, and this Elder Dragon isn't going as smoothly as I like, as we should be just absolutely clapping the enemy team. But again, when you're playing support, especially a support like Janna, you can't... you can kind of get things going by just going in by yourself, but you'll just die. So you kind of need to rely on your team to be proactive and get in for the team fights. And again, communicate it through ping. So that's a nice flash engage for our team. This is what we need to do. We just need to get the engage off. They're going to have to come and fight, and we're just going to absolutely clap the team fight. Double knock up for us. We ended up getting a kill with the auto attack on the last, and the Elder Drake sniping. And yeah, that's what we needed. We needed the team fight to go off. So good flash ultimate from the Iskana, starting off the team fight, collapsing the enemy team. I think our Elder Drake just wore off. But right now we're just focusing on the tower. Again, we're shooting what we can. Bit of a hectic team fight. Nice ultimate there, healing everyone up, ensuring that we can never die. Oh, no, we still got the Elder Drake. Boom. Get the double kill on the Fiora. And that's the end of the game, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, as I said, and subscribe. We are going through every champion. I think next we got Jarvan. So a bit of a jungle game for you. I might be wrong. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, at the end of the day, it is nighttime. Take it easy.